there's so many goddamn committees, Teresa. The Citizens Oversight Committee and Accountability Committee. Fuck the police. That's all I know. That's all I know. Miss Teresa Rayford. Okay. And then the first person I'm going to bring up is probably the coolest person because I saw a picture of her with 4 cats. And I've never, ever hung out with 4 cats before. So I think I'm out of my league. Katie's a 4-cat person. You're a 4-cat person. I think I'll like you a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the very famous Miss Mary Numair. It should work. Right.
Hi, everyone.
Lovely.
Thanks for having me.
Before I forget, sorry, I know that was really long-winded. So this right here came from City Council the other day, where our City Council, with a room overflowing with people that care about the environment, voted unanimously to make it really fucking hard for multinational fossil fuel corporations to send their fucking dirty products through the gorge and then ship them overseas to China and India. As much as I talk shit about our city council, fucking super props for that shit, man. Like, yeah. So the reason I bring it up is because there's another vote that's super crucial, and that would be for Portland to make like a very serious resolution that will set a precedent all over the world for saying no to those same companies, right? And this vote probably won't come as easy. It's set for Thursday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. If you guys can get off, you guys got jobs here, right? If you guys can wake up by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, then Jesse's such a dick when he's sober. Whatever. Who wants to join? Quit crying.
My best friend does. She loves pot the most.
Your best friend does?
Best friend Romana. She loves pot more than anyone.
Is she in the back over there?
Yeah, she's wonderful.
Dude, this isn't one of those Titan missiles. I can't throw that far.
Comes. I love you, baby girl.
Come on up. Come on up. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. What was your name?
Romana.
Romana. And you speak Chinese, Japanese?
Not really.
You read Naomi's tie.
I read part of Naomi's tie. Thank you for your time and thank you for this joint. She helped make that sign. I love her.
That's a shoot, yeah?
Yeah.
Nice. We can go right into it.
Let's do it.
What sign are we talking about?
We are talking about the sign now known all over the world as the yeast infection sign.
Did you bring it with you?
No, I didn't. I wasn't sure if I don't know. But yeah, I was at work with her, and she was actually on her break when I made it. And she drew the little vulvas with the smiley face clits. That was all her. She's so talented.
Dude, that is art as shit.
Yeah, I'm the yeast infection girl. Oh, thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Well, I was going to surprise them with that.
Surprise, everyone.
Okay, so yeast infection. Do you want to be yeast infection lady, girl, person?
Someone brought up a point. I was on KBOO radio the other day. A lady called in.
With who?
To tell me to stop calling myself a girl. And I was like, oh, you're right. That's such a good point.
Right. See,
Right? No, and I do it too.
We're attentive of those
so
things.
Guilty of it. Yeah.
Right.
So I'm the yeast infection woman.
Hold on, woman? What's the difference between woman and girl? I don't know. Have to be person.
She went on this like rant about why it's kind of insulting to do that to myself, and that there's like, oh, she made a really good point. Her name was Ginny. I follow her on Twitter now.
What was her name?
Ginny.
Jenny?
Ginny, like Ginny.
G-I-N-Y.
I believe it's like a nickname for Virginia.
Don't know why I wrote that down. I have no intention of following. I'm just trying to
follow.
seem like I'm paying
She makes
attention.
some interesting points, yeah.
Nah, probably not going to do it.
Do it.
No. How about if you retweet her, then... I don't even follow you on Twitter.
Why don't you follow me on Twitter?
Because I don't even know your Twitter.
I'm not going to lie to you. I went from 400 followers to 3,000 followers in 2 days.
Wow.
Thank you. That's really nice.
Yeah. It's funny, Katie was like, I really wanted to be her Facebook friend, but I didn't want to bombard her because people get bombarded like that, but she has so many cats.
I added her. I finally found you.
She's the best. Gotta get up for Katie, by the way.
Yeah, Katie's wonderful.
She was folding my shirts, and then all of a sudden in the middle of it, she's like, you know what? I kind of want Ted Wheeler to win. Fold your own shirts. That's all right. So let's back up a little bit.
Yes.
So you are yeast infection woman.
Okay.
How about just get rid of the woman total and you could just like call yourself yeast infection?
I am a yeast infection. I'm a walking yeast infection.
But capitalize it though, so people would know it was a proper noun, and they have to respect that.
Yeah, there goes YI. Walking around looking all good.
That'd be a good one. I might use that one myself. Okay, anyway, so fame fell upon you quite strangely.
Yes.
I'm sure nobody expected that sign was going to make you famous.
No.
I've seen a lot better signs.
I've made better signs.
But few quite as powerful.
No, none quite as powerful. So I was
Put it in your own words.
About the sign, or do you want to hear the story?
Tell the story.
Let's tell the story.
Tell the story.
It's been
You
diluted.
woke up. Did you eat breakfast? Because I always tell these guys, it's so important to eat breakfast because you don't know when life is going to become a whirlwind and you might go 8 hours without eating.
True. And
you're like, why don't I eat breakfast?
But that day, I had 100-degree fever.
No way.
And a sinus infection and an ear infection, and I was at work and just kind of like munching, so I hadn't had much food. But yeah, I was very sick when I went out.
Coincidentally going to Planned Parenthood that day?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't think they treat colds. I think you're not supposed to treat colds anymore anyways. I don't know. Something about antibiotics. Anyway, so I was at Purrington's Cat Lounge where I'm employed. Yeah, cat cafe. And we have these giant windows in the front. And suddenly all of us noticed this woman out there with a sign that said abortion kills children. And we were like, oh shit, she's going to be so embarrassed to find out this isn't Planned Parenthood. And no, she wasn't embarrassed. She was pretty smug. She was trying to stay out of the rain with her sign. And so I was like, can I take a picture of you? Let's take selfies. And she got all huffy and puffy and walked away. And I thought I heard her mutter, God damn it. But I can't be sure. I don't know.
That'd be hypocritical.
I know, but she was, and so one of the pictures that I tweeted is her walking away with her dog, all sad, like, get away from me, mean lady. And then I looked down the sidewalk, and at the Planned Parenthood, like a block and a half away, they'd occupied either side of the street.
Oh, so there was more. Okay, I was sitting here going, one lady?
No, she's just the one that stood outside of our work. So there's a couple dozen people there with their kids, just shouting horrendous things and slaying babies and selling baby parts and murder, and it was horrifying. And I'm like, fuck those guys. So I went into the back where our garbage is, and I grabbed the biggest piece of cardboard I could find, and I put masking tape on it, and I was like, I've been part of the counter-protest culture before. It isn't effective to go out there and be like, this guy's an asshole.
Right.
It doesn't accomplish anything.
Totally.
And so I knew that I was going to say something funny and nice. And I was like, gratitude. I fucking love gratitude. People don't have enough gratitude. I'm so grateful for Planned Parenthood. They've helped me out so many times. And I just thought, what's going to be the most to-the-point dagger to these people? And yeast infections. So I wrote it down.
I gotta say, you've done a lot to make over the image of yeast infections.
Yes. People just comfortably talk about them now. That's
right?
You can get them for no reason. You don't even have to be fucking around. When I was a little girl with high blood sugar, I would get them and not know why my crotch itched.
Right, no, so when Katie told me she had one, I was like, oh, that's gross, right? But then when I found out that the lady on the internet had one, I was like, babe, didn't we have one of those once? I was all trying to get down like we were down from the get-go.
Did you say we had one? Like, all of a sudden you were in the cool yeast infection club, too? Yeah. We totally had one. But, yeah, so I made my sign, and then my best friend, Ramona, clocked in early. So she was on her break. She only got a 21-minute break that day. And I apologize.
Oh, to cover for you?
It said, Dear Planned Parenthood, thank you for helping me with my yeast infections. And it had all the, and I drew a stick figure woman with some big old boobies and a lot of stars and hearts. Just a lot of like fun and happiness and gratitude. Yeah.
If anybody wants to see it, it's pretty much one of two things that come up when you Google yeast infection, lady. If you Google yeast infection protest, it'll come up.
It'll come up.
It'll come up.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so I went out there and I propped myself between two families that were holding horrific signs next to their small children. And I just started being like, yeah, thanks for helping with my yeast infections. And I was doing high kicks and I was blowing kisses to the cars and waving. And these like, and it was pouring down rain and I have a cold. My voice is just squeaky and I'm just peppy and obnoxious. And this lady approaches me and saying, do you want to talk about your sign? I don't think that's appropriate. And she has her kid with her. And so I just leaned down to her kid and I was like, has your mom told you about yeast infections yet? And they left. That was the first group to leave. And then another lady with her like 14-year-old daughter came up to me and was like, we're going to start praying for you. And I was like, I'll pray for you too. And at that point, a lot of the people with kids had left. It had been like 10 minutes. And I was just screaming yeast infections into the air, just as proudly and happily. And I'm like singing it. And Romana got the videos of me doing high kicks. I've never kicked that high in my life. I don't work out or stretch. I don't know how my toes made it up there, but they did. And cars were honking and waving. And some people pulled over and took pictures. And the prayer circle started. And I stood right outside the prayer circle and spoke over the pastor. It's like I just started chanting yeast infections over and over, and they kept breaking and like composing themselves, I guess. And every time I said it, I got louder and louder and more enthusiastic and happier, and they became so angry. And this lady turned around and started shaking her head at me, and I was like, oh no. Do you have a yeast infection? I know who can help you. And they were so fucking mad. Prayer circle broke up and they just started leaving. And then they had a table. So this was like 20 minutes tops that this took. I just took them down. How do
I get one of these?
I know. They had a table where they had all their nasty signs, for anyone who wanted to walk by and join in. And so I overheard this couple as they're leaving, like, oh, should we take down the table? I'm like, no, that's Bob and Teresa's table. And so when this couple came around the corner and started dismantling a table, I just looked at them and go, Bob, Teresa, see you guys next time, am I right? And they were just horrified by this crazy blonde bitch that came out and started yelling yeast infections at them. And then they moved away. Like, there's 4 left. There's 4 women left at this point.
Down to 4.
And they kept moving away from the Planned Parenthood building as I kept creeping closer and closer to them. And I had my sign and I was taking a picture and pointing at them. And then they like turned their backs to me and then they fucking left. And then I came inside and I started screaming at all my coworkers like, I broke up a protest. I can't believe it. I'm so excited. They're such pieces of shit and they're so scared. What a bunch of cowards. Like, I was just so excited. And so I just tweeted a picture. And then an hour later, my phone exploded. Like, I couldn't open any apps on my phone. There were too many notifications. Like, I couldn't open Twitter. It was like, bling, 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 bling. And like, I would try to refresh and everything. And then all of a sudden, the Facebook messages. Hundreds and hundreds of Facebook messages. Most of them are really nice, by the way. 99.99% of things I've gotten from people have been really warm, positive support. And the negative stuff, it's just been coming from people who I would want to hate me anyways. So I'm okay with that.
Have you been able to track the virus back to its original retweet that lit the fire?
I think it was, if I had to go with a guess, my friend in Seattle, comic Brett Hamill. He's also really politically active, so I don't know if you guys have ever crossed paths. Super good dude. He writes for Seattle Arts Magazine. He saw that and he messaged me, he's like, is that true? I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, adrenaline high from it. And he retweeted it. And I know he has some followers, but then it's still, if I looked at my phone right now, I'd still have notifications that someone just retweeted it. It's gonna outlive me.
Totally.
And I'm okay with that. That's my legacy.
Hey, it's cool that you gave Brett the props when you're not sure. If you're not sure, give the credit to a friend. It'll come back around.
Yeah,
for
exactly.
You.
He's a
Brett, we owe all this to you, Brett.
Brett Hamill, everybody.
And the devil for making yeast infections, right? So, I don't want to admit this. I don't know a lot about Planned Parenthood.
Oh, see,
I kind of do, but I don't know a lot. I've never been in one.
A lot of people think
won't let me in.
A giant abortion factory. Not true.
It's where they give out the small condoms. I know that.
It's reproductive health clinics, and over half of Planned Parenthoods are located in underserved areas. So when you have these politicians saying, women can go elsewhere, there's parts of the country that know the fuck they can't. They need to get exams. Like, it's preposterous. So Planned Parenthood offers anything from breast exams, sexually transmitted diseases, birth control, condoms of all sorts, latex for condoms. They're the ones who broke news to me that I had a latex allergy after I lost my virginity. I thought I had caught something. I didn't. It was
yeast infection?
No yeast infection. It was just an allergy rash. So I'm okay. Thank you. And it's so affordable. They have a sliding scale. So you can go in there, and if people consider embarrassing health problems, they don't need to be embarrassed. They can walk into this clinic and get seen immediately, which is also very important. So many mammograms.
I went to the free clinic one time, and I had gonorrhea.
Woo! Where's your? Oh, I thought you were gonna get the more you know thing too.
I didn't get it the more you know.
Oh my!
I just thought that can make us closer. Like,
No,
I've never had a
and
yeast infection.
you know what
but
though? I think it's cool when people admit that they've had an STI, STD, because I don't think we should be ashamed that shit happens. Bodies are fucking weird, man. And it doesn't mean you're a gross or nasty, vile person. It's just that was some bad luck. So when people are grossed out by STDs and stuff, I just kind of roll my eyes.
Now that she said that, you got a bunch of guys on it going, yeah. You don't really mind STDs?
You really don't mind? No.
Okay, so what about the mean people? I don't want to give them too much shine.
Oh, I don't mind talking about it at all. There was some batshit article written in the last 2 days that has prompted a bunch of their supporters to tweet at me.
Don't say who they are.
No, I won't. One guy called me a twat repeatedly, and I was just like, yo, my dad's been calling me that for 30 years. Step your game up.
A twat?
Internet amateur hour.
Yeah. This is like some old Christians. That's as far as I'm going to go. Meredith, I used the T word on her.
I called her a twat. And then another man told me that I should be raped with a coat hanger. But don't worry, I went and looked at his Facebook profile. Shit ton of Confederate flags and Obama with a Hitler mustache. So I want that guy to hate me. I'm okay with that. If that piece of shit doesn't like me, I'm doing my job as a human.
So what's next? You're going on Ellen, right?
That's what everyone keeps saying. I haven't been contacted, but I've gotten my Ellen dance down. I've been practicing at work. She does she toes in and guides her hip with her knee, and I'm just gonna mimic her. I think. I don't know. I've thought about this a lot. I don't know. Should I try to get on Ellen? How do I get on Ellen?
She's probably watching. What camera are we on?
But yeah.
What
we can
camera
do the Ellen dance when I'm on Ellen.
Do you have an Ellen dance? Does Ellen have a dance?
Ellen has the most fluid mom dance of all time. It's
what?
Captivating. It's very mom-esque. There's a lot of, I'm going over here now. I'm going over here. But it's so fluid.
Can you do it? Is there something I know how to do?
I know. I can't.
Oh, shit. I assume that was good?
It's fluid mom dancing, yeah.
That's cool.
So, I mean, if anyone has an Ellen hookup in the crowd, anyone?
Tweet at her.
Just tweet at her.
Dude, if everybody just tweet at Ellen right now.
Yeah, everyone tweet at her.
Probably this live stream would go down because you're all probably using the Wi-Fi. You want some nerds?
Always, thank you.
Okay, in exchange for that, you have to tell me about the cat cafe.
What would you like to know about the cat cafe? Everything? Are you completely unfamiliar?
Does it smell like a giant fucking cat box?
Nope, we have 2 separate rooms, and the back room.
2 separate rooms?
So
the cats are just like, I'll be right back, homie.
Yeah, and if they don't want to be out with the public, they don't have to be. They can hang out in the back room. We have 8 to 10 litter boxes at any time, and a pretty powerful fan. Great cat litter, so most people don't smell the cat odor.
What kind of cat litter do you use?
Honestly, you guys want to know the truth? The best fucking cat litter of all time. No, go to Petco. They have this bulk litter. You just buy it out of the bucket. Very low dust, odor control on lock. It's amazing.
Babe, do you know about that?
No, it's so good. My 2 cats are very fat and shit constantly, and you wouldn't know it.
See, that's why you tune into this show, for helpful household tips like that.
Yes.
So what is it? It's a cat cafe? People just show up and pay to pet cats?
Yeah, so...
Obviously, you've never walked down a street before.
No, true. We absorb the cost of housing 10 to 15 shelter cats at any time. They're available for adoption. So if you go in there and you fall in love, you fill out some paperwork, you got a new cat.
Who do you do that through?
Who do I do that to?
Through
Cat Adoption Team in Sherwood, Oregon. They're a no-kill shelter. They're amazing. They're like a whole cat facility. They're incredible people. So.
You know Katie wants to cat heckle us right now. She wants to just yell something, some helpful cat tip.
How many cats do you guys got? You said right now. I like that.
She fosters them.
Oh, you foster cats?
Yeah, so she might have 4 at any given time.
You're a real good person.
Yeah, watch really out. Cute. I like cat ladies.
Ah.
That's what you got to be, yeast infection lady. And during the daytime, you can be cat lady, and then put on your mask and you're yeast infection lady. But you can still keep the same side of the shirt and only have to pay 2/3 for the printing.
As yeast infection woman, what would I be doing? I mean, the Planned Parenthood protests aren't everywhere. I don't know where else it's appropriate to yell yeast infection, unless someone's like cutting in line at the self-checkout.
I think it could be bigger than just a yeast infection.
You think it could be bigger than
like
a yeast infection?
Like a huge yeast infection.
Like
what's the worst yeast infection that could be? Like, what happens if you don't treat a yeast infection?
Oh man, it travels.
That's what we're gonna call it. Where does it travel to?
Your butt.
That's how big it could be.
And you know where else you can get a yeast infection? Men, women, anyone of any gender.
My balls.
It's called thrush, and it's in your mouth.
That's what babies get.
Yeah, babies
I know
get
that
thrush
'cause I'm a
pretty
good
often.
father.
There, good job. Grown-ass people can get it too.
Really? Mm-hmm. From coming into contact with yeast infections?
That's what a lot of people, I think, do get it from, but some people can just have it for other reasons.
All right,
I've never had thrush. I hear it's very painful, though. Like, it's painful to swallow. Yeah. Hi, everyone.
Okay, so if you don't end up on Ellen, are you going to, I mean, people love people like you.
I know, it's weird. I've never had so much attention in my life.
Not just for the cats, but for taking a creative stand.
Yeah.
You know, street theater is really the way you win it, and everybody always looks for a way to run those people off. So if yeast infection can become that uniting cry, then maybe if we all work together, we can become an anal yeast infection, or perhaps thrush.
Or perhaps thrush.
I'm a visionary.
That's very beautiful, and actually I do like that, because I think the next time I show up, they're going to be like, "We're prepared for you, Miss Yeast Infection." And I'll be like, "Yo, but do you know about thrush, though?" And they'll be like,
because you have to keep escalating.
This bitch, yeah.
You know, you can't just keep with the same tactic.
Why is she so happy when she talks about this?
What if you showed up every time they're protesting one?
I would love to do that. Initially, I wanted to organize it, but then too much happened at once. So if anyone wants to just invite me out to a protest, or a girl tweeted at me today, and it was 2 hours too late. She's like, "Hey, they're at my campus at PCC," and I was like, 2 hours too late, because I would have gone down there, made some new friends.
Right? You need like a bat
signal. I used like a monostat cream in the sky.
I'm glad you know what that appropriate symbol would be because I was lost. I was like, I don't know, just let it shine.
I don't know,
Just
cottage cheese clouds. I'm not sure.
What if you came up with a whole superhero team of different biological maladies that you could possibly suffer?
That's beautiful. It reminds me of, what was that, Phoenix Jones up in Seattle?
Yes.
Do you remember him?
Right, yeah.
Where is he?
I don't know, but we're trying to get that other guy, the Red Guardian or whatever.
Yeah.
The one from Beaverton. There's a new one in Beaverton.
I didn't know. I
Brand
like
new.
kind of heard of it. I don't know much.
He tried to come on this week, and I was like, sorry, Mary's coming on.
Oh, fuck.
She's a
You
real
don't want
superhero
bump
asshole.
a superhero.
She doesn't just dress up. You look nice tonight, though.
Thank you.
I like your socks.
Thanks. I made them myself. That's a lie.
I was already on my way to. No way.
Yeah.
That's great. Okay, where can people find you? I'll let you out of here.
Oh, just Mary Numair. That's just on Twitter, Facebook, anything. Just say hi and I'll follow you.
Oh, hold on. How much does it cost for the cat cafe?
It's $8 an hour, $5 for a half hour. Any food or drink you buy is more than welcome you on that side. We just ask you don't share with the cats.
Oh, hell no!
Is that my cue to go?
I want some candy.
Thank you guys. Woo!
Sorry.
Thank you.
Man, that was great.
All right,
You go.
cool.
You guys want some music?
Woo, thank you.
Is Naomi and Josh still around? Man, I am right on schedule. Hold on. You gotta give me a hug up here. And then you gotta say hi to DJ Spark. Yeah. Spark loves the hugs. He's a real huggable guy. Right? That was great. That was fantastic. You guys, man, we're right on